Hey guys, I think it's Brandon with Investment Joy. I don't know if it's actually is it live?
Yep.
Are we actually live? Cool.
Yep.
Well, no one's watching, and we get everybody float on. I'm going to drink some tea real quick because I'm kind of thirsty. How is it? Are we in focus? Everything's good. Everything's great.
Yep, looks good.
Good. So, hey guys, it's Brandon here with Investment Joy. Does that sound authentic? It should be authentic. We're doing the Delicious Dollars podcast again today. We're going to come up here and we're going to see if we have scrolly magic on the screen. I've spent the past 2 days trying to get this stuff set up. I've got a really cool little control panel here that goes into another computer in the office, and it hopefully scrolls things across the screen. It says the Investment Joy Show. And in today's show, we're going to be talking about the fact that we're at about $40,000 for the month. That excludes the laundromat. It excludes the vending machines. It excludes YouTube. It excludes the car wash. And my hope is, in a real general sense, that we're going to get to this point that we're going to hit $100,000 this month. So if you could do me a big, gigantic favor, do me a favor, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel if you have not done so yet. Hopefully it did a show on the screen. Even I get the delay because I'm not watching it live. The computer's over there. Yes, it did. It worked. I can't see Noah's computer that has the commands live. So I see a bunch of questions coming in. So I'm going to throw a real quick, I'm going to click this button that has a dollar symbol on it on YouTube. I don't know what happens when I click the dollar symbol. I just know it's here. So do we have any real quick questions, Noah? Or I see one there. It's
Yep,
kind of
here we go. I just popped one up.
Okay.
So it says, yo, I want to start a business, but I need $500 to start. I was 17 years old. Can you give me tips on how to get $500 in a few months?
Okay, without a real job. So let's say what you want to do is your real job that you want to do is, let's say you want to start a lawn mowing business. One thing that I would consider doing is finding a subdivision where there's a lot of people, especially the older people, the better, if we'd be honest about it. Find a subdivision with older people and go door to door. I know that we're in this world where no one wants to talk to anybody. But for me, I make so much money off of just talking to people. I was at Sheetz, the gas station, a week ago with my kids, and my kids were oohing and eyeing because Sheetz now has Pokemon cards. And this guy in line was like, yeah, I can't believe those Pokemon cards are worth something. And my immediate reaction was to talk to the guy. I said, well, really, yeah, my kids love Pokemon. I love Pokemon too. I was in it when I was their age. Now they're this age and they want to buy Pokemon cards too. And he said, wow, I wonder if my Pokemon cards are worth anything. So immediately, Brandon engaged conversation and says, you want to sell them? And his response was, yeah, I would love to sell them. So we exchanged phone numbers, and I might be doing a deal on a gigantic tote of Pokemon cards. Now, will anything become of those Pokemon cards? I don't know. Will we make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with Pokemon cards? I don't know either. But because I had the conversation with the guy, it allowed me to have an opportunity, number one, to show my kids that talking to people isn't always a bad thing. Number two, we might be able to engage with somebody and make them some free money or low money by buying this large thing of Pokemon cards and then selling part of it. Back to your question. Let's say, going back to the example of you having a lawn mowing company. What you need to do, find that subdivision with older people, and if you have no money whatsoever, go door to door and say, I am wanting to mow somebody's yard for free this entire summer. All I'm looking for is a cheap, crummy, or slightly working lawnmower. And I've known multiple people who've done this, and they've started very well-performing landscaping companies. As of today, they're very well-performing on used, free equipment they asked for by going door to door and striking a deal with somebody to get a free lawnmower the entirety of a summer. Now, that's just like a microcosm of an example of one strategy to start a business with absolutely no money out of pocket. Alternatively, you need to make $500. Hi, my name is, let's see, what was your name? No, Novo J, whatever that is. My name's Novo J, and I'm wanting to start a XYZ business. Let people know that you're trying to hustle. Let people know that you're trying to do something with $500, that you're not going to spend it on illicit substances, that you're not chemically dependent. Can you read between the lines here? I really don't want to get demonetized here on YouTube this early into the stream. So you go and you tell people, I'm going to start a business. I'm trying to make $500. Do you have anything here that I can do for you? Landscaping makes money, and a lot of people need to do it. Hauling trash, a lot of people need to deal with trash, and they don't have the ability to deal with it, especially if they're older. Gutter cleaning is huge money. Window washing is huge money. And here's what you do. You can go on dochub.com. They are by far my absolute favorite. You can also use, I think, Google Drive, and you can sign a contract with these people. Come up with a contract. Come up with an invoice. All this stuff's free. Get a YouTube video. And the first person that says yes, you pull out a contract and say, here's my contract. I need a little bit of money down for this job. Once again, all you've had to do probably is get 10 cents worth of paper off of somebody, your home. I guess this thing does require 10 cents. So you have a contract, an invoice that you can show them and say, I'm going to do XYZ for you. The cost is going to be XYZ, and I want 25% down, 50% down. So if you're cleaning gutters and you assess that it's going to be a $250 gutter job, by getting half of the money up front, you now have the money to get a ladder and a bucket and do it without any money out of your own pocket. It's all about finding what people have a need for, not so much just their crazy wants, but something they have a real need for. Number 2, that they're willing to spend money on. And then number 3, you've got to build up your sales tactics, your sales negotiation skills, and you just got to be able to learn to talk with people. Everybody wants to make $10 million, $100 bajillion on the internet by clicking buttons, by answering surveys, by doing stuff that has no inherent value to it. But I found if you can provide other people value, especially things that other people place significant value on, that you can charge for, the world's going to be yours. In our podcast last week, we were talking about the trucking company, the hauling company I'm starting for $75. And we've got the vehicle registered. I think we got insurance. We started up the LLC. We recorded it. Quick drop of investmentjoy.com, where you can learn a lot of tactics and negotiation and just all sorts of information from me. We're doing weekly training and coaching series. Right after I get done with this live stream, I'm getting on a call, and we're going to talk about finding distressed landlords who want to give you a property for free. So that's the training session we're doing after this podcast. But anyway, by learning the tactics, learning sales negotiation strategies, you don't have to have a bunch of money out of your pocket to start that business. But the more physical labor it takes, the easier it is to get, the more money you potentially have. If it's something that's going to be online, you're going to have a decent base of knowledge, and you're going to have to spend a lot of time learning. I'm not a fan of doing stock trading and Forex and crypto trading. I'm not big on doing FBA stuff, selling stuff on Amazon as like a white label person or drop shipping. I'm not saying that selling on Amazon's bad at all, because I don't sell on Amazon, but I definitely sell stuff on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Those are awesome, but a lot of people want to do things that can be totally automated, totally hands-off, and I find that those are very technically difficult. They're not super easy, but if you can get away from the pure digital world and have your foot in digital, your foot in the real world in physical, you can do pretty well. So
I got another good one here.
Okay.
So what happened to the coin that you dropped, and when are we going to get to invest and make money off of it?
Okay. What happened to the coin you were going to drop? Oh, the NFT.
Yeah.
So the NFT, crypto right now is an absolute disaster. Like, I don't know, what's the Bitcoin price right now? If you'll switch over to my screen, we can. The current price of Bitcoin is $20,635. So I've spent, close to $10,000. Yeah, probably $10,000 after everything's concerned on this NFT deal that we've got. You can flip it right back over to the main screen. Wait, I can do that.
You can.
I
But
can't do
already-
that. There's a
we're
button
good.
here.
I
that
got
does
it.
So I've spent a lot of money on doing this NFT deal, and everything's in the dump. And rather than try to hold it off more, we're just going to do it. I had a company come in 3 months ago before all the big price of Bitcoin went to crap, and they valued it at this token / coin we're doing at $3 to $4 million, which was crazy. I talked to another guy that was in crypto. He said, "Oh, you're selling your brand online, doing this thing. It should be worth $300,000." And then I had another guy said, "Just sell it for $35, Brandon." And then whatever it goes to is whatever it goes to. You'll do better off of making people excited about the project rather than trying to sell it at a higher price and getting bad publicity if it goes bad. So it's just one of those things where, generally speaking, we're going to release it super soon. I actually have a real estate meeting with one of the NFT guys, the guy that gave me the piece of land for free. Well, he's trading me soon to be released tokens for the land. So that's kind of where it is any day now. If you're on the Google form list, like we had a sign up sheet, you'll get it. They're going to be $35. We're going to sell a couple thousand of them, but it's going to be heavily limited. And then we're using the money to build essentially a TV show, not a TV show, a Twitch. It'll be a Twitch show regarding just the laundromat. We're going to automate everything on it. So hopefully that answers it. If we have any other questions, we can answer them. But I'm pretty excited about what we've got going on with the revenue numbers. I think this button's going to work. We've got kind of like a revenue breakdown. We're on track for $100,000 this month. So pretty excited about that. If I throw social media money in there, we will definitely hit $100,000. But I'm trying to do $100,000 this month without, so including my YouTube money and social media money. Not June, but May, we had $150,000 a month just in real estate, which I'm super excited about. We've been selling some properties. I'm taking the gains that I have out of some of these properties, and we've just been doing super, super well. I see a question about a link to the Google form. If you give me a minute, I can probably throw it in here. I got the Google sign up form somewhere. There we go. I'll post it in the links here. So if you're interested in it, that's cool. You're not, that's cool too.
Here's a good one.
Everybody's super standish about NFTs and Bitcoin and stuff, so which I kind of get right now. Yes.
Any thoughts on? Hold on. Any thoughts on buying and developing on raw land?
That's what I'm trying to do a video series. It's going to cost me $400,000 to do the house development. We got a bid on the house already. You can make tons of money. I have this guy. He sent in a message on our Facebook page, which is growing really, really fast right now. He sent me a message on Facebook and said that they're looking at an RV park, and it's almost entirely raw land. I don't even think they have any sewage hookups, and I don't think they have any water hookups. And they're going to charge, I thought he said $35 per site. You want to flip it over?
Yep. And then after this, you also have a super chat.
We'll get to the super chat. I don't know if we've tried those yet. So if we can see the calculator, he had it was $35 per site, and it specifically, I think he said that there's 65 sites on this 5 or 10 acres worth of ground. I really don't want to log into my Facebook right now and see what the exact numbers were, but it was a very cheap piece of land, and if the numbers here are right, it's going to be $2,275 a month by building unimproved RV and campsites, which is absolutely, I think it's amazing. But that's kind of what he's looking at. We want to get to that super chat.
Yep. Okay. It's on the screen. You're good. So it's from Tim S. He sent in $10. I bought a house for my family. We've been here a year. I don't care for the location. It's financed at 2.6%, so I'd like to keep it and rent it out. How much reserve cash do I need, and where do I start?
Okay, so that's a really interesting thing. You bought a house for your family. You've been there for a year. You don't like the location, but you've got 2.6% financing, which is totally awesome. So you want to keep it and rent it out. How much reserve cash do you need? Where do you start? I don't know how much reserve cash you would need. I would need to understand a little more, like, is it a $100,000 property? Is it $1 million property? Is it a $500,000 property? And what are the market rents for? If you've got a 2.6% mortgage, the thing with debt right now, I don't know if you guys saw the inflation numbers. We're at 9.1 or 9.3% inflation right now. It's absolutely insane. So the difference between the 9.1% inflation and your finance charge at 2.6%, that's essentially free money that just comes out of the air, because if inflation gets locked in, and we don't go through a deflationary period, which I can't imagine we will, you're going to make almost 7% yield on that financing. So it definitely is a good idea to keep that property, keep that loan. But you need for reserves, I would just look at what it rents for. If your mortgage is $1,500 a month and you can rent the property out for $2,500 a month, and it's common in your area to ask for first month, last month, plus deposit, so that'd be $7,500, I would say go that route. Don't worry about a bunch of reserves, but set aside your deposit, your first and last month's rent, as just money set aside for that property. Do your background check, do your tenant research, make sure that that they're not going to tear the property up. But I don't know that I would say keep a huge reserve on it beyond first month's, last month's rent, and maybe first month's, last month's, and deposit. So, okay, I see Tim S here followed up. He says it's a $400K mortgage, $2,047 a month all in. Rents seem to be $2,500 a month. I wasn't super far off. I guess $2,500 a month. So, yeah, if you're going to cash flow on the property $500 a month, first month, last month's, and deposit, if that's common in your area, that's what I would shoot for. But I wouldn't worry too much about trying to save like a $5,000 or $10,000. Theoretically, I'm not a huge Dave Ramsey fan, but you should have a little bit of an emergency account. I think it's a great idea to have $5,000 or $10,000 saved back in a bank account or in cash. You could have some. I'm really not opposed to having a little bit of cash lying around. But have some money in your emergency account in case things go super bad. But beyond that, I think I would be comfortable. So Ethan Cooper keeps asking a question. You want to pull that up? Because I answer this every single stream. Ethan Cooper's asking, are most of my companies LLCs? Yes, they are. Every single company I have is an LLC, with the exception of the company that owns this YouTube channel. Brandon does not own Investment Joy. Another company does. I just happen to be the manager of said company, and I take all those delicious tax benefits from the IRS off of this YouTube channel, and I expense everything properly. So the YouTube channel's held in a S Corp. Everything else is in an LLC. I am not a financial planner or advisor or a CPA. I'm just some guy that knows how to do stuff on YouTube. But I have the LLCs mostly for liability protection on my rentals. The S Corp is mostly for tax benefits. You can get S Corp tax benefits inside an LLC if you want to choose yourself to elect like that. I do the S Corp thing because I take a regular salary from YouTube, and it's not that much money, and then I can pay myself dividends too. So I can help avoid some of those issues like with self-employment tax. Although I'm on actual payroll for YouTube. So hopefully that answers your question, Ethan. So you can stop spamming the chat.
Here's another funny one. So how can I earn money when I live in the middle of the woods? I've tried everything.
Okay, here's a funny story, and this is not a joke in any way, shape, or form. This is legitimate. So a person in my family, he had nothing, and he lived in the middle of the woods in southern Ohio. And he said, my favorite thing to make money, Brandon, when I have nothing. And I said, what? And he says, do you know how much public ground there is in southern Ohio? And I was like, no, I don't. He says, you know what? It's legal in a lot of cases. There's certain areas in the state of Ohio that you can remove things from. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Are you going into state property and you're stealing stuff? And he said, no. He said, I had a legal process. I would drive a pickup truck into a river or a creek when the water was low. And I would fill up the bed of my pickup truck with rocks. And they're river rocks, so they're nice and they're smooth and they look nice because of the natural erosion. And then he would take them into town and he would sell the river rocks. And he's like, I would sell rocks for $1 a piece. And knowing the guy, he totally wasn't BSing me. And that's what he was doing in the middle of the woods. Alternatively, you have some sort of piece of technology that you're watching this on. I would say you could start a primitive living channel on YouTube. I watched I think a Sunny V2, and he was talking about how they're all scams. You could have the first, the second non-fake primitive living channel. And I don't want to not remind you guys, but I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Oh, that's overdoing it. So, do we have any other questions that might be useful?
Here's a good one. Let me see if I can pull it up. Do you participate in money laundering?
Do I participate in money laundering? Probably not, but that isn't something that I would probably talk about on YouTube if I was. But now there's really no reason, in my opinion. I mean, unless you're selling something illicit, you're doing illicit things in your area, there's no reason to participate in money laundering. I run into people that a lot of times they want to use laundromats, vending, and car washes to avoid paying taxes, which is weird to me because with all of those businesses, maybe not vending machines so much, but with laundromats and car washes, they are like the easiest businesses to take tax write-offs on. And you don't have to pay a ton of money when you have a laundromat or a car wash just due to depreciation. I know they're getting rid of bonus depreciation here soon, or they're starting to do the step down on it. But just straight regular depreciation is so powerful in those kinds of businesses. There's not too much of a need to pilfer money outside of, just standard write-offs.
All right, here's a good one. When is the tiny house being moved into the empty lot?
Gosh, I don't know. It's nice that I'm getting all these questions because it's like it shows me that you guys are actually watching my videos. I don't know yet because I've got to get with my lead contractor and see, is it going to make sense to finish the house where it sits now? Or is it going to make more sense to finish it out once we set it? I don't know. I'm getting really excited about it because I found out recently my brother-in-law, let me see, give me a second. My brother-in-law is building a tiny house that looks very, very similar to the one that we've got that we're putting on the lot. And what he did, I've got a little bit different folder. Wait, we got screen capture on this. Cool. My brother-in-law, the interesting thing to me at least with his tiny house, he found a person that was tearing down an old shed. And he found the shed was not a straight shed. The shed was a old log cabin. And I guess I don't have that log cabin picture on here. But he took the log cabin and he turned it into a little tiny house. And it's just absolutely amazing what he's doing with it. Because he's planning right now, I guess, on getting, $175 a night. The old log cabin shed thing cost him, I think he said, $500. And he had to transport it in pieces. The guy tore it down, and it was just a log cabin sitting in pieces. He took it, he moved it to his property. He found a guy that does the old-fashioned, it's called chinking. It's, you take chicken wire, you put it on you screw the chicken wire in between your big logs, and then you take mortar, and you mortar the chicken wire as the stuff that sits in between your gigantic logs there. And he paid a guy $2,500. And he has, I think he said after it's all said and done, he's putting like a glass bathroom. He's put a mini split in it. Absolute gorgeous kitchen. Everything on the property's absolute top notch. He's going to have $20,000 on it, including running all the utilities to it. Absolutely gorgeous place. $175 a night. He expects to have it open, I think he said by mid-August. I went out and took some videos for Instagram so I could, show it to people. And it's a really cool business. But if he opens it up in mid-August, he will pay for the entirety of the tiny house and have the money to build the next one by the end of the year, which is just absolutely amazing. Crazy concept. That's my brother-in-law. He's super, super talented when it comes to building things. And so with $20,000 technically out of pocket, he'll be able to start building. He's already built the tiny house just about, but he should have 2 Airbnb rentals by the end of the year. So do we have any questions? I see a lot of money laundry questions on here.
Here's another one that's a little bit older, but he says, "What's up? I am passionate about buying vending machines and have over 100K. I want to open a laundromat. Please help me."
Okay, get on investmentjoy.com and schedule a call with our team. If you have $100,000, there's 2 things that are going to happen. You're either going to get one for practically nothing, or you're going to find a business broker and they're going to screw you on buying a laundromat. If you get on with any of Danny D'Angelo's content, he teaches our laundry course that we came out with. He's got, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say hundreds of people, but he's run into, it seems at least dozens of people that got screwed over by business brokers who said, "Oh, wow, you got $100,000 to spend. That's enough of a deposit to put down on this $500,000 laundromat." They buy a laundromat for $500,000 and it doesn't make any money. When Danny was here, and you'll see the video we did with Danny in the coming weeks, he ran into a doctor who put like $500,000 down on a $1 million laundromat in New Jersey. Could not make money on it whatsoever. One of his crew guys got in and they took the place over with no money out of pocket whatsoever. Brand spanking new laundromat. The buyer was a doctor and he just could not run the laundromat appropriately. So what you've got to do, you've got to really avoid is people that are going to try to scam you, and nothing against business brokers, but I find that a lot of business brokers, they don't know anything about running a business. They don't really know anything about valuing a business. They're just there to sit and negotiate deals. And it's really disturbing to me to an extent what I see out there with people that have decent money. I don't know how many times I run into people that suddenly overnight get money, and that very well could not be the case with you, but I've had a lot of people that overnight ran into $250,000 to $500,000, and everybody comes out of the woodwork to get that money. And for me, it's like, oh wow, someone bought a steamer chest off of me for $500. I want to keep this money. It's a very difficult thing, but if you go to investmentjoy.com, you can schedule a call with someone on my team. These guys know me pretty well, and they can walk you through with how I can help you on that. So do we have any more questions?
Yes. So normally what percentage does a washer/dryer distributor finance their equipment?
I just looked at these rates the other day. The distributors don't finance them. The actual manufacturer does. So you've got Electrolux Finance. It's called Laundry Lux. You've got Alliance, and you've got Dexter, which might be Lear, under Lear Finance. I was looking at Dexter rates a week ago, and they were in the mid-5s to low 6% range. But the nice thing is, if you know how to negotiate a deal, and this is why we're doing the courses, which hint. If you know how to negotiate with a finance company, you don't have to put anything down on them. When we redid our whole entire laundromat, I put down $2,997 as a down payment to totally redo our laundromat. And my biggest regret, and you'll see this in the Danny D'Angelo content that's coming out here soon. My biggest regret was I wish I would have ordered twice the dryers, added a couple washers, and then I should have had them redo the parking lot, and we should have blown out a couple walls there. I didn't realize that I could have got the whole entire thing financed for $3,000 down, but I signed that agreement with Dexter like a year and a half, 2 years ago, way before it started, way before we redid the laundromat, and these were all things that I learned down the road, and I was like, holy crap, I wish I would have done this. So it's just kind of crazy. So yeah, make sure you hit the like button on the video. I've got 85 likes. I'd like to get that up to 130. So do we have any more questions?
Yeah, so I was looking into ice vending. Any tips on that?
I've got a guy in Nevada who wants to partner with me on ice vending. I love the idea of ice vending. And the reason I like it so much is because for me, I'm big into marketing and advertising. It would be very easy for me to market an ice business. Now, you guys tell me if you like this idea or not. But my concept is I'm going to go get a pickup truck, and I want to fill the whole entire bed of the pickup truck. And of course, we filmed this thing as a commercial for the ice machine. We fill the bed of a pickup truck, And if you get one of those ice machines that just spits out, you put your credit card in and it gives you like a hose, like a 3-inch diameter hose, and you just put in whatever you want. It's for filling big coolers. But just put your credit card in and fill up the whole entire bed of a pickup truck and then swim in it. I think that'd be an absolutely hilarious commercial. But then you say, this experience, I got to swim in the bed of my pickup truck and it only cost me $23. If I went down to, insert convenience store, if I went to Speedway or 7-Eleven and got bags of ice, it would cost me $150 to do this. I can do this because I went to Brandon's Ice Vending business located at 1206 North Court Street, Circleville, Ohio, 43113. So when I think of this stuff, I want to brand it. We've done commercials and content with our car wash, and you guys don't see any of it because we just do it locally. And we do these cheap little ads that cost me $10 to produce or $20 to produce, and it's the equivalent of spending $1,000 on marketing. It'd be like having a $20,000 physical print campaign. When you buy businesses or you start businesses that are easy to market, or you come up with concepts that are easy to market, you don't have to have a huge advertising budget. So that's why I really like ice vending.
All right, here we have another good one. I'm in the process of buying a dairy bar. Gross revenue last year was $230K. Owner wants $165K. Private lender gave thumbs up. In the process of getting the down payment together. Any advice?
I mean, if I would be interested in what your margins are at $230,000. Make sure that they're not cooking the books, but whatever. You've got it potentially, if the owner wants $165K. I'm curious if that's like a 3. Let me see what that is. What would a 3x revenue be of 230? If they're getting a 33% margin, that's $75,000 a year, or 165 divided by 3 would be $55,000 a year. So maybe your net range is between 55 and 75. I mean, if there's ways for you to add value to the brand or ways for you to add value to the company, it could be a good thing, definitely. But I would just make sure that you're doing the right things. I'm always curious why people turn over and they sell profitable businesses. I find that most people are selling businesses because they're in distress or that it's too much work. And in either of those cases, that's not a bad position to be in as a buyer. As a buyer, you can add value to the company or you can automate things. It's just like with my car wash. I did a TikTok here Tuesday, I think it was. And I was out at the car wash and I had to do the normal stuff. I had to go through and do the soaps, the trash, everything like that. And I recorded it. I made a TikTok of it. And it took 25 minutes for me to do the normal stuff. Nothing broke down, thankfully. Just the normal stuff. Taking out trash, processing money, cleaning the bays because we had a truck come in one bay that was really muddy and I just had to wash it out. So each car wash took me about 25 minutes. I had to drive between our 2 car washes, which was another 15. So each day, I've got like an hour worth of work at 2 locations. Granted, nothing breaks down. So the previous owner was doing that too. And he was doing it at 2 locations twice a day. And if you want to have a decently clean location, which our locations have always been clean, it's just something you have to do. So as the owner of the business, the guy running the company, you spend 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, 14 hours a week, 4 weeks a month. So you're spending 60 hours a month working a job essentially, but you've got the upside of appreciation. You've got the upside of writing a bunch of stuff off your taxes. You've got definitely some upside. So it's not a bad job to have. But then when when something breaks down, you can have 6 hours in trying to fix something. So as the investor in the business, I try to look at things critically. What is the big time waste? Well, taking out trash is a huge it's not time waste, but it's a lot of effort. Well, can we hire somebody for $20 an hour to do this? Okay. So if I spend $20 an hour and it takes somebody else 1 hour a day per location, I've got $40 in cleaning the 2 locations up per day. 30 days a month. I got $1,200 a month. No, $2,400 a month. I'm speaking out of my butt here again. Hold on. $40 a day. No, $1,200. Yeah. $1,200 a month in keeping 2 locations clean. Is that a good thing to have? Yes, because suddenly I don't have to be the guy that's doing the trash picking up and the soap checking and everything like that. Now I'm the guy that gets the money, and I'm the guy that thinks up of new ways to advertise the business. And you've got to be the guy that does those things. If you're not, you're buying a job. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to any of you guys, just post a comment and tell me, Brandon, you did a terrible job of explaining this thing. But that is the ultimate core of business, is you find something that people want or need, and you make an improvement on it. You want to try to be a little bit better than the average, and I don't expect anybody to hit it out of the park. You look at the average car wash. I mentioned this in the same TikTok video. You look at the average car wash. The average car wash is making $125,000 a year. The average car wash has a 38% margin. That I should know that number offhand. $125K a year at a 30% margin. The average car wash is making $47,500. Well, what if you could increase your revenue by 20%? So just do 20% better than the average. Now you're at $150,000. Well, what if that was total upside? Well, you're now going to go from $47,000 a year to $67,000 a year. And I'm not saying you can do that in every case, but I think it's doable. It blows my mind how many businesses don't have websites. They don't have Google reviews. They don't have people that go through the business as a customer. Danny mentioned this 10 billion times when he was here in Ohio doing videos with me. He said, do you look at your business like the customer looks at your business? And that's hard for people with laundromats. It's very difficult with laundromats. It's difficult with vending machines. It's difficult with car washes, because unless you're the kind of customer that uses that service, you're going to look at it from an outsider's view, and you might lose money. A lot of people look at things from an outsider's view. How often do you guys use vending machines? Do you use them every day? Do you use a vending machine once a week? Do you use a vending machine once a month? Once a year? I got this guy on video 3 times now. He comes to my freaking Coke machine in front of the laundromat, the red one. He is at my Coke machine every single day buying pop. It's wonderful. I am so appreciative of this guy. I have no clue who he is. I give him quarters every time I see him. He brings a duffel bag. He fills it up with pop. I really don't want to know what he does with it, but he spends money like water at my laundromat. I want to figure out, why is he coming? How can I get him to buy more, or just keep him coming back? I've run into people. I have been standing at my laundromat, and people have said, I can't believe he comes here. Why would, you need to kick this guy out. Or they're very demeaning to this older gentleman who comes to my laundromat and he spends $10 a day in pop. And I'm like, as a business owner, why would I ever want this guy to leave? I want him to make sure he's happy. What is it going to take for him to always keep coming back? But it's kind of this really sad situation that you run into with business owners in some cases, definitely not every case, but some business owners don't look at things from the perspective of the customer to make the customer happy and keep him coming back. I'm not saying that your customer's always right, because that's not true, but I'm saying to put yourself in their shoes once in a while and take a look at it and see, can you improve on your process? Can you make things better looking at it from that situation? So.
All right, what would be a good $1,000 investment?
Good $1,000 investment. I see my friend Young Orange is on here. He was on my first live stream ever. Played guitar in the laundromat. What was your question?
What would be a good $1,000 investment?
Probably vending machines. If you've got the skill set and the desire to do vending machines, do vending machines. If you don't, my thought process is put $1,000 in a broad ETF like VOO or VTI. Till you find something that you can invest in business-wise. I talk about vending machines all the time, but we're doing a trucking company. I know people that do landscaping companies. I know people that do junk removal places. A guy at my church, he does trash hauling business. He does dumpster rentals, and he's got a bunch of dumpsters. These roll-off dumpsters, like some of them are $6,000, $7,000 a piece, and when you have 10 roll-off dumpsters at $7,000 a piece and 2 heavy-duty pickup trucks, both with Cummins diesel engines, like, you're not doing too bad in your business. In that situation, dumpster rentals could be a good thing. For me, there are more ideas and concepts and ways to make money than there are, like, ideas that are out there. I mean, there's so many ways to make money. There's not ideas that are out there, but there's more ways to make money than I know that are available. It's like I produce content on my vending machines because I have vending machines. I produce content on my car wash because I have a car wash. I produce content on my rentals because I have rentals. I produce content on my real estate because I have real estate. I don't do any Airbnb videos, but I know guys that are Cole that was here a couple weeks ago. He made millions, absolute millions of dollars off of Airbnb. I've got a laundromat that makes, it's made, I don't know if it'll show on the screen. I got a laundromat that has made $3,000 this month. Danny D'Angelo made $10 million plus on his laundromats. So absolutely crazy. Absolutely incredible. So if we have any more questions.
What is a reliable source for finding vending machines?
I've been really big on Facebook Marketplace forever, and I'm getting told that because I keep saying Facebook Marketplace, they're all selling super, super quickly. Let's switch over to here. Let's see if we can find anything here. Did it switch it to my computer?
Yep.
Cool. So I probably should be saying things like, you should buy my course to get access to unlock this information, but I'm not going to do that. So this is a basic 30-year-old Dixie Narco. They want $300 for it. It's probably worth that. Okay, that's a Dixie Narco 501 TR. This is one of the ones we cut the locks off of in our laundromat under the interstate or the freeway. So that one, this sucks. Here's one for $1,200. It's a 368R, which is a better machine. So this isn't as nice as what I have at the laundromat, but it's not too bad. It's got a bill acceptor here, $1,200, which I think is too high. But as I'm being told, I have totally increased the price of all vending machines in the United States because of YouTube and TikTok videos. So this is a pretty decent one. Yeah, I see Danny just super chatted $100 freaking dollars. We've already talked about you, and I promise it's all very positive, Danny. I think we've got a couple calls generated because I was name dropping you. So here's a beer machine, an old school pop machine with brand new compressor. It runs 36 degrees to 42, ice cold. It's a beer machine. This looks like a standard Dixie Narco as well. So this is a pretty good one for $350. So. But I have no clue where it is. It says it ships to you for $5.75. That's going to cost you $300 to ship it. Here's a cigarette machine. I don't want to get demonetized over this one. I really hope that I don't get demonetized over this one. But you can find something fun to do with that. Here's a Royal, just like I have, with a samurai sword down here. I hope I don't get demonetized over that. So here's a NASCAR vending machine. I'll tell you right now, this is a Royal Generation 3, just like I have, and I love my machine. So this one's $500. The guy's located. Oh, we're doxing this guy. Please don't ban me, Facebook or YouTube. Facebook is like, yeah, let's get this guy more. Can I? Oh, there we go. Where's this guy located? Oh, he has a lockdown profile. Shoot. Come on, Gary. Get these naked women off your page. No, I was laughing. I didn't realize I was getting a comedy show today. But Gary doesn't have the location he is at. So, like, I go on Facebook Marketplace, but like I said, I'm giving away $150 for each location. Okay, this guy's trying to locate locations. Chelsea must be watching me on the internet. Here's Erin Evans. She has 2 machines, so I would call Erin and say, hey, do you have more of these machines for sale? So that's like, in a nutshell, like Brandon's quick down and dirty DLTR. How do I get vending machines? But like I said, I'm finding there's a lot of problems like doing this now because everybody knows about it. And so we're doing a training session here later about going and finding the right kind of people, let's say. Do you want to pin Danny's?
It's already pinned.
Oh, it's already pinned. So I'm going to do some like behind the scene tricks on finding companies and individuals mostly that rebuild vending machines. So we're doing a training session on that. So I see someone saying something about OfferUp. OfferUps can be good. I found 2 or 3 machines on OfferUp recently. But Facebook Marketplace has been my place forever. And it seems like everybody watches my videos and hears me say that, and it's causing a problem. So any more questions?
Let's go down and see. All right. So where do you find locations to put vending machines, and how does all that work?
That's kind of what we do training on. You find, in a nutshell, you find people that have high traffic locations or good locations, and you negotiate with them. And that's kind of like where the secret sauce is on negotiating with people on their businesses, because they're going to tell you no. And that's like everything else. I've got a guy that told me no when I told him I want to pay you $25,000 to buy your house. And he said, "Screw you, Brandon. I'm never going to sell this house for $25,000. He just took my letter of intent to his mortgage company today, because I've learned to negotiate with people. I talk to people. I kind of know how to. I don't have a batting average like Danny D'Angelo does. He's a much better negotiator than I am, but I am pretty good at negotiating and talking with people. So this guy who said he wouldn't sell his house ever for $25,000 to me, I think we're going to buy it next week, and it's a 2-bed, 1-bath home. Very close to where I live. Very close to where I live. It's not a terrible location. And we'll do a whole video series on rehabbing this property. I want to partner with Cole, who you have not met yet, on my video. We shot crap loads of videos together and they're being edited right now. So we got this deal for $25,000. And it's just like, that's kind of the issue or the thing with people, is a lot of people get offstandish about negotiating with people. But I'm not sure. I just go and ask. So hopefully that answers you. I see a question from Noah about Airbnb arbitrage. If you want to load that one up.
There you go.
That'd be pretty cool. So Airbnb arbitrage is very similar to something that we do in our courses on investmentjoy.com. It's where you essentially go and you insert yourself between a landlord and a Airbnb tenant, or Airbnb tenants, Airbnb renters. It's a totally legitimate strategy, and if you can figure out how to do them, the world's yours. But I wouldn't limit yourself to Airbnb. Danny's kind of teaching a slightly different spin on that with doing lease arbitrage between a commercial crappy landlord and you as an operator. There's so many ways you can make money on it. People love to throw out these buzzwords on the internet, like they throw out the buzzword of real estate wholesaling. Real estate wholesaling has existed at least for 100 years, probably 200 years in the United States. It exists in states or it exists in countries outside the United States. And everybody thinks it's this new thing and you can finally make some money doing this. And they also think it's super easy to do. And I'm not saying none of this stuff is super easy to do or isn't super easy to do. But it's like it's useful. Excuse me. It's good to learn, and I think the concepts can be applied to so many things. So,
all right, here's a good one. How do I know if a laundromat is going to have a good cash flow?
There's a whole big valuation system on that. I'm not telling you not to buy my stuff, but we're going to have some really great videos out with Danny D'Angelo, and they're just going to be regular YouTube videos, not behind a paywall. They're going to be totally free for everybody. And we talk about that in depth, in person, because what happens is these people, there's companies out here that will sell you a report, and they'll say, oh, for every 10,000 people that live within 1 mile of your location, you're going to get 2 washer uses a day per 10,000 people within a mile. So it's like you live in a place where there's 50,000 people within a mile of your location. You're going to get 10 turns a day, and they're going to buy 10 $3 usages on your washer. So you're going to make $30 a day per washer. So you should buy 100 machines in your location, and you end up getting screwed. Danny's got his own system for finding locations, and I would agree with him. This is oversimplifying, but it kind of comes down to Are there good laundromats within a reasonable driving distance, a mile to 3 miles? Less if you're in a high urban area. You know, in my area, it would be more like 1 to 3 miles. Are there competitors that have really good equipment? Are they nice? Are they clean? If the answer is yes, then don't even try. But if there aren't, and you can draw off population that makes sense, then you should go in and look for a location. But he doesn't have any specific rules for demographics. And he's had 33 laundromats, and they were all profitable. So I kind of trust what he says. So,
all right. So what kind of negotiations do you say to a business owner to allow them to get your machine on their property?
That's what we're doing training on later today. I have a conversation with them, and I just realistically, I try to feel them out and say, and have this conversation with, I always come with my negotiations of how I'm helping the other person. And then I have a conversation that flows out from how my vending machine is going to help your business, foot traffic, appeal as a service, as a convenience to your customer. All my conversations and negotiations come from that point onward. Hopefully that makes sense. That's probably the easiest way for me to explain it without going into a 45-minute tirade like I'm going to be doing later today. Probably 15-minute tirade on negotiation tactics. So,
all right, here's another good one. What do you use to transport your vending machines? I came across one, but it took a dolly and 3 other guys to help me. There's got to be an easier way.
About the course, you'd see that there's a machine that actually moves vending machines, and they're really cheap. I mean, you rent them for a day, they cost $35, but it moves it for you. And it moves it upstairs too, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Danny sent a message, and it was flagged.
Danny sent a message because he called something BS, and the YouTube filter caught Danny's comment, but for some reason, it won't catch people impersonating me, claiming to be me, asking people to call them on WhatsApp. Quick reminder, guys, I will never in a million years use WhatsApp. I probably would make money if I did use WhatsApp. I get these brands from China who are willing to pay absurd amounts of money to try to get me to do their offer.
Well, here's a good one. How can I buy your service?
Investmentjoy.com. If you want to, it says the bot that we have here says, want to learn directly from Brandon? Visit investmentjoy.com. I have not paid this person for the shout out, but I probably should. Tell the sales agent that you saw me say it on the live stream, and that Brandon will pay $50 for it. I'll give you a $50 discount off your course and your coaching calls and stuff, because we sell it as a package. It's called Ultimate Joy. It's real estate, laundromats, car washes, rentals, and real estate, and then just how to start a business. It's 20 hours worth of content. It's 20 to 25 hours of basic video content, 200 additional piecemeal courses, and then we do coaching calls every Thursday starting at 5 o'clock. So once I hop off of this live stream, we're doing the private coaching call where we're talking about locating distressed sellers for real estate as a segment on getting properties for zero down. So
here's a funny one. Would you ever consider opening a Ponderosa franchise?
I saw this one, and I'm smiling. I love Ponderosa. Oh, my goodness. Noah, have you been to Ponderosa before?
I have. There's one in Hillsboro, close to where I live.
Oh, my goodness. There's one in Hillsboro.
It's like a higher class Golden Corral.
Yeah. Golden Corral did not used to be the absolute cesspool that it is today.
The best buffet in the USA.
Yeah. Golden Corral used to be great. Ponderosa used to be really good. Like, it was Ponderosa, Golden Corral, and then like Ryan's up at top. And as time goes on, Golden Corral has become the lowest class place ever, and Ponderosa's there now in the middle because they never changed. Their food quality has not changed since 1989. And I just absolutely love them, but I don't know how you could make money at a buffet. I see how you could make money at a buffet like a Brazilian steakhouse. Like we went recently to Texas Day Brazil up at Easton. And I could see how you could make money at a business like that. You get lower quality pieces of meat, you marinate them, and you fill people up on cheaper food. Like they've got the best salad bar. I should say, in quotes, salad bar, because it's not salad, just salad. They've got all this great food, and that's the cheaper food that you fill up on. So then when it comes time for the salty meat that fills you up pretty quick, you want less of it. That's the expensive stuff. And then they don't bring the expensive meats out very often. So it's so Danny says that he's trying to buy a laundromat. It's foolish. People who provide the numbers are selling a failure. Don't be fooled. Oh, yeah, he threw out the MFTGP. We'll explain that in person if you come to Danny's Laundry Conference, but I will be demonetized very quickly if I explain to you guys what that acronym means. So, do we have any questions real quick?
When is your brother coming back in the videos?
I don't know. Ben needs to get a hold of me. His channel's blowing up right now. He'll definitely have 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And he's making great money off of everything he does on YouTube. There's days that he beats my channel out severely, which is cool. I'm very happy for my brother. He recently bought a church, and he's put a church in the he's put a business in the church, which is super cool. My brother's doing great, and his YouTube channel's blowing up. They just paid off their apartment complex, the one that I helped him buy it, but we mostly used my credit and his cash. We bought an apartment complex back in 2007, and his wife texted me today, and she said we paid the mortgage off. We had our final payment this month, which is absolutely amazing. So my brother does the same kind of business stuff that I do. It's just he's not very involved in real estate as much, but he's getting ready to pay off a single-family detached rental. He's paid off his apartment complex, and then he went out and bought a church, and then he's got a master lease on a 36,000 square foot commercial facility. It's absolutely cool. So, J Camp's complaining that he just got an ad during his video. There's a button here that I can click, and it says, do you want to start an ad? And I click the button every so often, and no one tells me they see an ad. So I'm happy to see, no offense, I'm happy to see that it gave you an ad, just because normally they don't serve ads on my videos. We've been demonetized on the last 2 streams that I've done, and I have to submit appeals and stuff. They say I'm using copyrighted material, which is insane. Yeah, he started a business at church. He put his appliance sales business in a church. It's absolutely hilarious. And he says that he's trying to restore the bell tower. This congregation closed up shop 2 or 3 years ago, and it's a historic location. It's been there for 150 years, and they just totally closed down. And he went in. They boarded up the bell tower to the church. He broke the boards off of, and there's, I guess, a gigantic brass bell up there. And I keep telling him I need to come by and do a YouTube video, and it's just not happening. So if we have any more questions, please ask them real quick. We're going to be on the stream for another 3 minutes, and then we're going to do our Insider Joy call, where we're going to go over finding super distressed landlords that want to give you, or be so happy to give you the property. I don't know if you guys have seen my $250 house I bought, but it's the process that I've implemented multiple times to buy property for practically nothing. I buy it for $200. I pay the owner $250 to take it over and take it off their hands because I'm nice, and my accountant says that I'll get
here's a good one.
All right,
do you ever spend time in Milford, Ohio? If so, please buy the car wash sitting off closed 28.
So I can work for you. Yes, I've been to Milford. I knew a girl who lived in Milford. I think she still lives in Milford.
I live kind of close to Milford.
Yeah, Milford's not too real. I mean, it's not that far.
45 minutes.
Because my brother was interning at a church in Milford. I don't know. I can't remember why he had to go to Milford, but he did. I knew a girl down there as well, and I've been there 2-3 times, but I would not. I was 18 years old, and I would not have been looking for a car wash at that point. I'm working. If you guys want to do funding, we are starting a accredited investment fund for laundromats and car wash real estate. Not the business so much, but the actual underlying real estate. And I'm hoping to get into laundromats and car washes outside of where I am in Central Ohio. We're going to buy here first, but we've got a way to do them as a very tax advantage strategy. So if that's something you want to do, be on the watch out for that. Young Orange wants me to shred. I can play us out real quick with the acoustic that's up there. If no one wants to crawl under the desk and grab it for me.
I don't know if I can crawl under, but I'll walk around.
He'll walk around. I'll play something really quick on it because I've got. You guys can see the 8-string behind me and the Strat that's on the wall, but you can't see the 3 SGs that I have here, the my Ibanez and then my acoustic. The acoustic sounds really good. I got it for $400. It's a $1,300 or $1,400 Blue Ridge that's hopefully in tune. So I'll answer really quick questions. I really like this guitar. Is it in tune? I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'll play it real quick. I appreciate every single one of you for watching my content, making sure I'm liking and subscribing, and all of that great stuff. Would I invest overseas? I don't know. Hey, it's Eric Davis. So thank you guys for watching. Does it sound good?
Yeah.
I don't know if this microphone's any good. You guys decide if I can actually play or not.
You're now getting song requests.
Huh?
You're now getting song
I'm getting
requests.
song requests. I don't know any Alice in Chains songs.
I can start
really would-
singing if you want me to.
I love Texas Day, Brazil. In Dubai? That's amazing.
Stairway
I
to
play
Heaven.
Stairway. That's easy. You learn that in the first 2 weeks.
What was the name of your band in the early days?
We never had a name. That's the thing that's awful. All right, I'm gonna have to get on the actual other stream. I really like playing guitar, guys, but I haven't even made enough money for gas playing guitar, let alone turned it into profitable business. I'd like to do some recording at some point for the channel so I don't get the copyright strikes. But yeah, when I was playing guitar and bass in a band, I think we made over the whole course of 3 years $200, and that was nowhere close enough to pay for gasoline. So all right, guys, you want to end the stream so we can go on the insider call?
Yep. Goodbye.